Welcome to the Dragon's Nest, home of the casual Dragon Ball Super card game players. This is a place where you can actually use cards you pull from packs or you can get from trading with your friends. Here at the Dragon's Nest, we try to focus on more casual decks that are fun to play or way better than just hyper meta decks. This doesn't mean we won't be showcasing any meta decks. We plan to bring you a variety of decks ranging from all parts of the spectrum, from decks you can introduce people to the game with, or to decks you can end up taking to your local event on the weekend. We're only going to be breaking these decks down by price because it's going to be a nice easy way to set them into playlists for you guys. So moving forward, we're going to be putting decks into one of these four categories. Now first up, we have the Dragon's Gems, at decks that are over $1,000. And underneath that, we're going to have the Dragon's Gold. Now these are decks that are going to be in the $500 to $1,000 range. And then next they're going to be the Dragon Silver, which are decks in the $500 to $200 range. And last but certainly not least, we have the Dragon's Bronze, which are decks that are going to be under $200. By no means does that mean these decks are weak in any way. Now the links for everything will be found in the description of this video. So we're putting this deck into the Dragon's Bronze category. The deck is going to run you somewhere around $98.04. And that's at the time of recording this video found on DBS-Decks. This is just a deck kind of thrown together by myself. And now let's get into the deck tech. I'm not going to tell you how many cards you're going to need. There's going to be a Dragon Ball above the price that's going to tell you how many you're going to need. And I'm not going to go over the price of every card. The price is going to be underneath the Dragon Balls for every card that's presented on DBS-Decks at the time of recording this video. So let's quit talking and get into this main deck. So for the leader card in the deck today, we have Vegeks, the Unsung Fusion Hero. Here we are looking at the leader front, Vegeta Xeno and Trunks Xeno. You can only play mono black battle cards in this deck. Its activate main is Burst 5, Draw 1. Its awaken ability is you can awaken at 4 or less life, or if you have 20 more cards in your drop area, you can draw 1 card and switch one of your energy to active mode. Now, if you end up awakening when your life is greater than 6, you must take cards from your life and make them equal 6, and then flip this card over. The leader front has 10,000 power. Here we are looking at the awakened side, Vegeks, the Unsung Fusion Hero. You can only play mono black battle cards in this deck. So if you have 20 more cards in the drop area and you were to lose the game by running out of cards in your deck, you can shuffle your cards from your graveyard into your deck instead. Its activate main ability, you can draw 1 card, place the top 5 cards of your deck in the drop area, and then choose one of your black unison cards and it gains double strike for the turn. The leader back has 15,000 power. So for the first card in the deck, we have Absolute Space SS3 Trunks, 5 any and 1 for 10,000 combo power. This card has 25,000 power. This card is Xeno Evolve for 5 over a Trunks Xeno. This card has triple strike. When you evolve into this card, you can draw 1 card and choose one of your energy and switch it to active mode. And then you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards and send it to their warp. Next up in the deck, we have Dark Power Black Mask Saiyan for 1 any and 0 for 5,000 combo power. This card has 5,000 power. And when you attack with this card, you can take a card from your life and add it to your hand, and if you do, this card gains 10,000 power. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know what this card does, but when your opponent plays a battle card with 15,000 power or less using a non-keyword skill, your opponent must choose 2 cards from your hand and place them in the drop area. Next up in the deck, we have Dimension Support Trunks, 3 any and 0 for 5,000 combo power. This card has 15,000 power. This card is Overwhelm 3 for 1. When you play this card using Overwhelm, you can choose a skill-less battle card with an energy cost of 2 or less from your deck and play it. And that skill-less battle card gains critical for the turn. Next is Power Burst for 1 any. Counterattack, if your leader card is black, negate the attack and choose one of your black battle cards in your drop or warp with an energy cost of 1 and add it to your hand. You can activate this card's counter skill if you have 5 or more cards in the drop area by paying a life instead of paying its energy cost. Here we have Revive Ravager Vegeta, 3 any and 0 for 5,000 combo power. This card has 15,000 power. This card has critical. This card also has Overwhelm 3 for no cost. When you play this card using Overwhelm, you can put 3 cards from the top of the deck in the drop area. Next up, we have Son Goku making an entrance for 1 any and 0 for 0 combo power. This card has 5,000 power. Counterattack, negate the attack, and play this card. Next up in the deck, we have Son Goku Saiyan Transcendence, 5 any and 0 for 5,000 combo power. This card has 25,000 power. This card has double strike. This card has Xeno Evolve for 1 on a Son Goku with an energy cost of 3 or less. You cannot play this card if you have any other non-black battle cards in your deck, hand, or life. If you have 3 or less energy, you cannot play this card from anywhere. Its activate main ability is choose 4 black battle cards in your warp and place them in your drop. Next up, we have the Unison SS Gotenks Fusion of Friendship. This card has 5,000 power. If your leader card is a black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in the drop area from your deck by a skill, if you don't have any other Unison cards in play, you can play this card from the drop area and put a marker on it. Its Tick 2 ability is choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, and this card gains 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. Its negative 4 ability is this card gains 20,000 power and dual attack for the turn. Next up in the deck, we have Super Saiyan Trunks for 2 any and 0 for 0 combo power. This card has 20,000 power. Next up, we have Supreme Kai of Time Guardian of Space Time for 1 any and 0 for 5,000 combo power. This card has 4,000 power. So if you have 5 or less cards in your hand and you combo with this card gains an additional 5,000 power. So if your leader card is a black Saiyan, when this card is placed in the drop area from your deck by a skill, you can play it. Next up in the deck, we have Time Agent Trunks for 3 any and 0 for 5,000 combo power. This card has 4,000 power. This card is unique. This card is Blocker. When you play this card, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. If your leader card is a black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in the drop area from your deck by a skill, you can play it instead. And now we have Time Agent Vegeta, 4 NE and 0 for 5000 combo power. This card has 90,000 power. This card is unique. When this card would be removed from the battle area, it's sent to the warp instead. If your leader card is a black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you can play it instead. Its activate battle cost 2. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and send it to their warp. And here we have Time Bullet for 2 NE. Counterplay. If you have a Unison card in play and the battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less sent to the owner's warp, you can activate this card's counter skill by taking 2 cards from your hand and putting them in drop area instead of paying its energy cost. And here we have Trunks Power Overseeing Time, 4 NE and 0 for 5000 combo power. This card has 20,000 power. This card has Overwhelm 4 for 2. This card is Double Strike. And when you Overwhelm with this card, you can choose up to 1 battle card in your warp and add it to your hand. Next up we have Vegeta Making an Entrance, 1 NE and 0 for 5000 combo power. This card is 15,000 power. Choose 3 battle cards from your drop area with the cost of 3 or more and 35,000 power or less. Put them at the bottom of your deck in any order and play this card. This card can only be played by using the counter ability, and only 1 Vegeta Making an Entrance can be played in the battle area at a time. And for the last card in the deck, we have Vegeta Reluctant Reinforcements, 3 NE and 0 for 5000 combo power. This card is 20,000 power. Card is Barrier. When you play this card, if your leader card is a black Saiyan, choose up to the top 5 cards in your deck and put them in the drop area. Its activate main costs 1. You can put this card in the owner's drop area and choose 1 black battle card with 19,000 power from your drop area and play it. And here we have the price breakdown from DBS-Decks. So this deck I kind of whipped up for newer players that may be just getting into the game with this set of starter decks. It uses some older cards that are kind of on the budget side but are still very strong in this gameplay. My hope is that you can end up getting 2 starter decks so that you can have all the cards you're going to need for this deck. And most of the stuff that you can buy is usually going to be under about $5. These new starter decks are pretty nuts already, and if you haven't seen anybody else's gameplay on them, I think you should check it out. Being able to play cards for free is just kind of insane. So with this deck, you're just going to be like Dory, just keep swinging, or whatever Ellen said. Most of the cards in the deck are over 15k, so when you're going to be swinging it on your opponent, they're going to always have to try and find some answer to it. Closing out the match in this deck is kind of easy and very straightforward, being mono black. You just want to start denying your opponent resources by using cards like Dimensional Support Trunks. It ends up bringing out a vanilla 20k that gets critical, and Revive Ravager Vegeta, you can get him all for free, essentially, and fill up your drop, and he also has critical. You're always going to want to use the Unison card to get your wins with this deck because you're going to end up giving a dual attack and 20k for -4, so it's going to end up being kind of a lethal card all on its own. There are some other cards in the deck that can actually kind of take the load off the Unison card and kind of help you get there. Cards like Son Goku Saiyan Transcended. It's a good way to get cards back in your drop area, and also having a good beater on board. You end up using the Son Goku Making an Entrance on your opponent's turn, giving you a nice evolve target at the beginning of your turn. Trunks Power Overseeing Time can come out for just 2 energy and 4 cards in his drop, and also it does Double Strike. This card can be very lethal in the right cases. And people tend to forget about the Absolute Space SS3 Trunks. The card is triple attack, and when you evolve into this card, you can switch an energy to active mode, and you can take an opponent's battle card and send it to their warp. That's pretty strong. I just want to take a second to say thanks to the local gang for letting me show off their decks. Without these decks, it'd pretty much just be me rattling off nonsense and crappy decks all the time. I hope you enjoyed this deck list video, and I would love to hear if you end up trying it in the comments. Whether you play this game at home at the kitchen table, or end up going near LGS for a weekend event. All links for everything will be found in the description of this video. Now if you can do me a solid and don't forget to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can be notified when the Dragon's Nest have uploaded another video. From all of us here at the Dragon's Nest, thanks for watching, and we hope you tune in to future videos. And as we say up here in the Great White North, have a good one and keep her going, eh?